Let's circle back the events. I remember my day of entry. I remember all the circumstances, and I remember the lazy, fat, nice people. Chris Christie is the brother of my aunt and husband, and apparently, they have some sort of a problem with socio-political analysis of the achievements that I did and how they would be perceived in the Republican society. On my day of entry, after weird people have arrived and took me from the university, then they traveled me for 10 days. At Paris airport, I called someone from I know who lives in Algeria, who lives an Algerian who lives in France, and a French lady that works with UNESCO. And at that night, I called Interpol. I called the United Nations Human Rights Council, and previously to that, I wrote to the High Commissioner of Canada in London and High Commissioner of Australia in London as well. I had a great idea and a lot of other things I could have seen because one of those individuals were Mexicans, others were like Europeans, meaning like a lot of those people were non-American basically. And apparently they do have a certain type of psychology. Few of them are passive, few of them are aggressive, and a lot are aggressive, and very few are passive, basically, meaning like peaceful. I entered through the airport, then the problems have started because I remember the circumstances of February 2016 and the scumminess of these individuals. And I remember what the racist neighbor has said in here, and a lot of other things like people convince themselves to get some sort of mental arousal uh, by attacking me basically. They commit treason, they attack monarchies, they attack head of states, as well as a lot more. And so far, the security forces are gave them the right to commit theft of my academic certificate and of my achievements. And then they steal all of the rewards that I collected and they shine them in front of either their girlfriends or their mothers or their wives as if they have done some sort of a huge achievement. And I don't know, they just sit all day, work around, talk. Through that pace, I think they will get maybe 2 or 3 things. I work, I see individuals who have the, how to say, who have the bone structure of a foreigner. And I've seen a few Germans in here, and they are like people who were in here, as well as a lot more. Few individuals were able to travel, and previously to that, I keep on remembering that Sweden was at the United Nations Security Council up until 2018, and I was dealing with a lot. I was writing to MSNBC. I was doing a lot of activities, and on August 9th 2018 I decided to do like a sabbatical. The people in Tunisia have informed me that class, meaning that salary, and apparently someone has come from that salary and a disaster has happened. Therefore, the individuals who have a gun, who wear a police uniform, like judiciary police uniform, and and they commit thefts of all of my properties. And apparently, there is no way to speak with them. Therefore, the best way is to have like a sea wolf. It has two nuclear missiles, and to contact countries who have like nuclear capabilities like India, Pakistan, China, uh, Britain, the United States, uh, Russia, and China. So Russia shot them in August 2014. Then there were like two other strikes in January 2019 and February 2019. You could feel them basically. And I don't know, someone told, yes. And remember that I keep work to the embassies. Sometimes as I listed in the past, it's like they have someone in front of an embassy who caused me troubles in order for me not to obtain documents, and therefore him or his friends get some sort of point advantage into some sort of a point advantage into, I don't know, into some sort of a pleasurous situation. And I was also dealing like with a lot of people who, yeah, with a lot of scum basically. And I keep rewinding back on the month of October 2016, November 2016, and December 2016. While I was in Sweden, I remember that we had some sort of an agreement to choose the 23rd of November 2016. It was the day like of salaries, to basically scream out loud of the harsh circumstances that we were facing. If we were like individuals who only like breathe and eat, and for me, I had like a scholarship and I had obligations and I had to perform. But like for us, like yes, to just live in the city without being bothered. But then there was like a lot of yelling, and someone did this and someone did that, and yes, and it just went out of proportion. We had like a lot to deal with. We had like a fight to undergo, and I remember how many selfish people were there basically. I went to study. I had like a task to do. Then I was basically going to Germany to simply like do like study there and things. I think I have like to do like a lot of musculations, and yes, I keep on being accused of things that I didn't do, and basically individuals who cause troubles. I have all of my paperwork. I don't know. People keep on doing an unsurmountable amount of errors against me, and there is no hierarchical person to complain to. Therefore, it's like okay, let's speak with or let's inform the basically the presidents and the prime ministers and the prince, the princess, the royalties about what's ongoing. Basically, it's like that those people are writing those laws just to please the eye of someone who is in charge. But like if you were like someone who works like in the currency, things are completely way worse. I had like a lot of I faced like a lot of jealous people, And I remember in September 2017, October 2017, yeah, disaster kept on happening because people who are like in their psychology a lot like Bill Maher, or those individuals have basically decided at that period of time to have some sort of an individuals to write faulty reports against me so that they can collect checks and wrong documents basically. And well, I told this individual that I have life abroad, I have documents who are issues, and I have degrees who are basically abroad. But like basically it is their core belief, or it is in their psychology, to themselves decide to send troops, violent people, thieves, killers to Europe or Canada or the United States or those countries basically. And people who are basically good enough, who are engineers, who are this, who are that, they lock them in an apartment and they seize all of their postal services and everything. I went to the postal services in here. I told them I live in this country and in this country. I met the police chief, I met the chief of the green uniform, and I met a lot of people. And I've spoken with people who say that they are my family, even the ones that are living in distance. My brother have a family who lives in here, and the other brothers too. Apparently, they know nothing about my life. Uh, yes, basically they just run this apartment, and someone who is like a thief or like a scam artist, yeah, a scam artist, uh, basically decided to lie to the people whom I care about, just to tell them like there is no cure. Well, there's like, I think like it's yes, it's like the Dutch Parliament money. It's like $700,000, just basically to undergo like neurological and brain treatment basically. And I kept on working and on performing, and I highlighted all my skills during the year 2017, and I kept on facing people who are deserving basically of impeachment charges. And basically you can't be like a politician and attack the army, or it's like not like meaning like attacking them, it's like they're like the most humanitarian person and you just attack them. And they have like a lot of individuals, yes, it's like how difficult it is to obtain basically like a purple heart. It's an extremely tedious task, it's not an easy task. And when you get like and there's like, for instance, like there's like the DHS one, and there's one like from the Navy, and there's like one from the Air Force, and there's like one from the Department of the Army. And basically it's like if you go to the Department of the Army, it's like a maze. If you go to the Department of the Air Force, well, that was like one of my best performances. Then the IT stuff, then if I have built something which improve the lives of others and give people security, yes. Then there's the Canadian stuff. Then and it went on and it went on and it went on. And all of those individuals who are in there, like who were like for foreigners, well, they just go there, they mingle, they play, they study, they cook, they sell the food, and that's it. And basically, when I arrived in here, there have been like those individuals Well, it's fine to acknowledge that you have committed several mistakes against me. I think one individual will think, oh, it's best not to look like it was on purpose, like it was an honest mistake, because the look from it is like none of this is an honest mistake. It doesn't look like an honest mistake. It looks like a planned mistake. And yeah, I go. There have been people like stealing things from here, and you know, it made me like very very angry not to be able to be like in Norway in December 2017, or where it went on. And I have individuals who are basically who say that they are somehow of an authority. Someone has said that they just tell us this: you're not allowed. They just tell us this: you're not allowed to earn money. Well, I'm just an individual who's trying to do this and this and that. Then I've asked someone, basically is like the former head of NATO, to contact the Italian government and see what's wrong with these people had. And basically, someone cannot be like remain so peaceful in the face of thieves. Basically, it's like I do my work on the phases and on the plans who are basically written in the United Nations. The last one was written by a blonde that I know, or that I met, not I know, but I met. But then individuals just decide to simply shift the focus and not tell me. And yeah, it's like my work. What do? They commit an act of Nazism, meaning like they steal my work in order to earn money from my brain activity. And I didn't give them the permission to do that. And it kept on being like a repetitive mistake, because the first one was with the solar energy, the second one was with the hydropower, but then when I climaxed to the third one, it was about uh, it was like about the climate action and a global view, and I've been extremely meticulous. And then there's like the fourth one, which is like I'm doing like right now. And I decided to group all of that. And then I face individuals who are like in that area who commit an act of Nazism. They just steal my ID, they don't pay me, they commit theft. And yes, we are in NATO and we are in NATO and we are strong and we can do and that we can do like we can do whatever we want because we are protected by the United States. So this is something weird thing about the Navy in here. It has like 7 stars, and it's written 6 power 4, and this is an anchor with the red and white lines. Okay, then I met the person who works in energy security, and I met the staff who looks around that, and well, I just asked basically to. I thought of doing a humanitarian things with that, and I did that, and now I give basically like the answer to you, because I think people put fattening items into my food and into everything, plus with the heat, plus with the dirty air, and I looked a lot different in September 2017. And these people are allowed to behave in a crazy, deranged fashion and that even like the best psychologist will say that these people are dangerous criminals. I drink a lot of tea, and anything that I eat turn into fat. So I eat like a lot of pasta, I eat like a lot of rice, and I follow them with the tea and this calming and I take vitamins and I take zinc. And in one of those days I was working a lot, and up until like the month of June 2019 I was eating like from outside stuff, and you can see the racism and discrimination of these individuals, which has led to these disastrous consequences. And I go and I issue your embassy and I call them via phone and I tell them, would you please give me my document so that I can reach my workplace and collect my documents. I call your embassy in this location, and you cannot even have like the decency simply to call them and to say that we committed the mistake, but rather it's great for these individuals to be Nazi, racist, scum, commit state aggression, allow mafia to grow, uh, and basically harm female and basically endanger the empowerment of females, because they go and they attack females who have who are smart, and yes.